Hello, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. This is the second video in making the Beginners Sampler Quilt. Remember, I will take you through all the steps to complete this quilt. There are 12 blocks in all. This video is the second block, but let's take one quick little look at the previous block that we made. This is the bow tie. Now, if you want to catch up and start with this block, the link to this block to the video is in your upper right hand corner. So click on that if you would like to review this block. Now let's take a look at the anvil. This is what we're going to work on in this video. Okay, now I know it looks complicated, but it's really not. There are two large half square triangles, and there are also 4 smaller half square triangles. The process for making either the large or the small is exactly the same, so it's really not a hard block to make. All right, so let me set this aside. Let's go over what you will need for this particular block. Again, it's called the anvil, and the finished size will be 12.5 inches squared. Now, you're going to need 2 fabrics, an A and a B, one light and one dark. Out of each of the fabrics, you will need to cut 1 7-inch square, 2 3.5-inch squares, and 2 4-inch squares, and you'll need the same out of fabric B. This is the block layout right here, so if you're a little confused as which way everything was to turn, just refer to this. Okay? All right, so now take your 2 large 7-inch squares. Okay, here's mine, and you're going to bring right sides together. This is fabric A for me and fabric B. All right? Bring right sides together. Now you're going to draw a line from corner to corner on the lighter fabric because you'll be able to see it a little better, and place your ruler corner to corner on a diagonal, okay? And then draw a line down the center. Okay, there's my center line. Now if you have a 1/4 inch presser foot on your machine, you can line that up on this dark line here and go over 1/4 inch and stitch, and do that on each side of the line. For those of you who do not have the 1/4 inch presser foot, take your 1/4 inch line on your ruler and place it on that drawn line that you already put on. Then draw another line. Then go to the other side, place that 1/4 inch on there, line it up, and draw a second line. So when you're done, you'll actually have 3 pencil lines. Stitch on the 2 outer lines. Do not stitch on the center line at all. After you've stitched it, then press it with your iron. Place your ruler back on that center line, and then with your rotary cutter, cut it in half. Okay? And you should have 2 half square triangles now. Now turn it to where the dark side is facing up. Okay? Press them on the dark side, then open up the block and press it on the top here, making sure that the seam is going towards this dark fabric. So do that on both of your squares. All right? Now, to make the smaller half square triangles, take your 2 4-inch squares of each color, bring them together, right sides together, and do the same thing. Draw your lines, stitch on the 2 outer lines, press, cut them in half, and you will wind up with 4 of these. Okay? All right, so now one really important step that you need to do on all of the blocks is to square them up. The larger blocks will be squared to 6.5 inches. So take your diagonal line here, place it on your center seam. Okay, right there. Now, center it to where the 6.5 inch line, which is here and here. You should have a little bit of fabric hanging outside of that 6.5 inch square. Now, take your rotary cutter and you're going to cut just two sides. So cut here and then cut here. All right, now take your block and turn it. Now you want to still place that diagonal line on your seam. Now take your 6.5 line here and here and place them on the previously two cut sides. Okay, line them up, making sure everything is straight. Then cut your last two sides. All right. Here you go. And now your block is squared up to 6.5 inches. You're going to do the same thing for the smaller ones, but square them to 3.5 inches. Okay? All right, now that you've got all your triangles made, the rest is really easy. Take your two solid A and B fabrics that are 3.5 inches square. Then take two of your triangles and lay them like this. Okay, now take this square, the half square triangle, and place it on top of the solid and pin and stitch 1/4 inch on this side here. Then fold this one on top, line it up, pin and stitch 1/4 inch right here. Then take your blocks and have the two solid squares facing up at you. Press the seams, then open it up, okay, and press again, making sure that the seam is going towards the solid squares. Okay, now lay it out like this. Okay, now you're going to fold this one on top. Line up your seams. Make sure that the seams are going in the opposite direction. This one is going towards my left. This one is going towards my right. Then place a pin to hold it and then finish pinning across. Then stitch that 1/4 inch line again. Okay? Then it's going to look like this. See that? Now you're making two of those blocks. So make two, go ahead and do your next one. Now let's just lay everything out. Take a half square triangle and put it right here, and then the other side like this. Now there's your anvil shape. Now you're going to take all the squares and begin stitching them together. Lay this one on top, okay, and pin and stitch 1/4 inch right along here. Then take the other block and lay it on top, pin and stitch 1/4 inch. Okay, now take both of your half square triangle sides and press it on the half square triangle side. Open it up, both of them up, and press the seam here towards the half square triangle, okay, on both of them. Now let's bring all of the blocks together, okay? So now you're going to take one row and place it on top of the other row. Match up that seam again, making sure your seams are going in opposite direction. Pin it all the way across. Always pin your seam first. Then stitch 1/4 inch. Then press it on top. Open up the blocks and press it on the top side, making sure that the seam is going in the same direction all the way across, okay? And then you are done. Isn't that a beautiful block? Now, this is block 2. Let me show you what block 3 is going to be. This is called Roman square. You'll also hear it referred to as fence rail, rail fence, fence post. It's all the same thing. This is probably the easiest block I will give you. Even though it looks complicated, it is super, super easy. Well, I hope that this was helpful to you. Now, to keep informed on all my future videos, click on one of my subscribe buttons. Throughout the video, there's been one down there in the lower right-hand corner. It's red. It says subscribe. You can click on that one at any time throughout the video. Then towards the end of the video is a picture of my face floating around up there. You can click on that too. It's also a subscribe button. When you click on it, YouTube will ask you for your email address. Enter that information, and the next time I have a new video, YouTube sends you an email with a big button in the center. You click on it and it takes you directly to my latest video. I'm Cheryl. I'm really glad you came to my sewing room. Now I'll see you next time, and happy sewing.